Hey everybody, this is Stephanie Lassiter, your upstate realtor with our third Small Business Spotlight. This one's going to be just a little bit different as we highlight a nonprofit organization, and I introduce you to Kaylee Lindquist, who is a wonderful person and has been such an amazing mentor to my family. Kaylee's career and her calling is to serve the children and foster families of upstate South Carolina. I know that your heartstrings will be tugged on as you watch her share stories about hope and love through times of hardship. Listen along to learn more about the mission and needs of these precious children that are right here in our upstate community.
My name is Kaylee Lindquist and I am the director of Care2Foster. Care2Foster is an initiative of Fostering Great Ideas, which is an innovative nonprofit out of South Carolina. Our goal at Fostering Great Ideas is to restore hope to children that are living in foster care. My husband and I became foster parents in 2017. We were newlyweds and we didn't have any children of our own, and we were looking for ways to get plugged into our community, to give back, and to just really feel like we were living fulfilled, meaningful lives. And we thought about a couple different things and we landed on fostering, and it really just became this mission or this calling on our lives to be foster parents. The system and the problem seems so overwhelming, but the reality is that one person can do one thing that makes a small difference in one child's life. And if I can help bring foster parents to the table, then that ripple effect is just so meaningful. And so foster care exists for when a child or youth is not currently safe in their home. So either law enforcement or child welfare services have identified a safety issue in a family. Maybe there's alleged abuse or neglect. There's some reason why the child can't stay with their family. And so the purpose of foster care is to give the child or the youth a safe, loving, stable place to live, where they can be loved, where they can heal, while the family works towards reunification. So the goal of foster care is always a family restored. It's different from adoption in that way, where foster families are just filling a temporary gap. They are supporting the child as well as the family while healing happens. So foster care is, it's an issue that we know exists across the country and internationally, but specifically in South Carolina, we really are kind of facing this crisis where we have almost 4,000 children and youth in the foster care system, but there's not nearly enough families to meet the need. We need foster families in every county to meet the actual needs of that county. These children, no matter what age they are not in foster care by their own doing. Nobody outgrows the desire for a family. If you look at our state, the child welfare system has been just overwhelmed by the global pandemic. We see, children not in schools. That means that teachers who are, our number one mandated reporters, they're not seeing these kids every day. They're not, aware of what might be going on in the home or, seeing signs of physical abuse. And so the number of children coming into care during the pandemic has been down. At some point, we have to realize it's impossible to do everything to the level that we were doing it before. And we know that even before the pandemic, child welfare was overwhelmed. But what I have seen that has been so impressive is that everyone who is a part of foster care is stepping in and stepping up and saying, we will adapt. We will do what it takes to serve these children and youth because they deserve it. They deserve our time and attention and love and care. So while the pandemic is obviously hard and traumatizing, and we've lost so much, and it's taken so much. It's been amazing to see the way that child welfare, the way that Care2Foster, and the way that real life just foster parents in their day-to-day lives have stepped up and said, let's find ways to adapt. And what that really means is that we're having to work together. And when we have to work together because we're trying to figure out just like how to survive through these uncertain times, it means that we're building relationships across boundaries and barriers and departments and geography, and that makes us better. Foster parents are just totally ordinary people who have decided to say yes to something that's hard. And I always come back to this thought that love does hard things. And when we are looking at our communities and choosing to love our neighbors, we realize that there's no such thing as other people's children. Really, the really basic qualification is you need to be 21, have a safe and stable living environment, and just open your heart to a kid in need. Just that willingness to step out into uncertainty, to take a risk. And the risks might be as superficial as, risking, having less time, risking your home being a little bit more messy, risking falling in love with a kid who, is not going to be a part of your family forever. But everyone can do something. Using your time, talent, and resources, there's always something that you can do, whether that's volunteering, informally or formally through a program that exists, as a mentor, as a tutor, as someone who offers to babysit for a foster family. Maybe it's donating. Maybe it's donating a gift card to a family who just got a new placement. Places like Walmart or the grocery store, that allow that foster family to pick up the things that are needed for a new placement. Donating diapers and wipes, or, foster families are always looking for brand new pairs of socks and underwear and pajamas for kids that come into care. Finding those resources that are in your community already, those things that already exist, and supporting them. So the goal of foster care is reunification, that a family gets to come back together, and that's really a beautiful thing, because you get to see this family restored to wholeness, this family that is safe and that loves each other and that has the skills to, continue living safely as a family. Love is never wasted. I can hold grief and I can hold the gift of foster care at the same time. That it can feel beautiful and broken simultaneously. That there can be joy and sorrow. And the more you learn, the more you realize you're not the main character of the story, but you are an important part of the story. And so that in itself is a gift, this gift of realizing the world is so much more than you thought it was. And that it's not black and white, good or bad. Things are never as clear cut as you want them to be. It's always this gray in the middle. And I think that there's so many things you learn from foster care that you just can't learn any other way. And so you see these families, and they have, their biological children or their permanent children who are loving on these kids that are there temporarily. And these kids are growing up in homes where they learn, family is more than blood. We care for people, regardless of what they look like or who they are or where they came from. And I am always just so inspired by these children in fostering families that share their time and the TV and their parents and their toys, and they grow up to be these really incredible people. And so for foster parents, what a gift that you're offering your kids is this experience of thinking about someone other than yourself and really welcoming people into your home and into your life, and welcoming uncertainty and welcoming some discomfort for the sake of, one life being impacted for the better. We would love for you to visit fgi4kids.org.